Hello makers, today I'm sharing some more cards that I made with Tim Holtz stamps and the matching exclusive dies from Simon Says Stamp. These are the products that I'm going to put to use today. So of course I am going to use the dies and stamps, Tiny Things 2 and the Tiny Things 2 coordinating dies. So I'm basically going to use two stamps and dies, the dress form and then this pair of scissors for all of the cards today. Of course, I'm also going to be using the tiny text stamps and the outline dies. These are the everyday sentiments. And then I'm going to reach for the Crochet Trims thin dies and the Crochet Trims stamps. So there are Crochet Trims A and Crochet Trims B. I'm going to be using this die that matches this stamp. And so I need the thin set, but for Crochet Trims, there is a second set of dies. They are the thick Crochet Trims thick, and they go with these thicker lace trims. So if you wanted a die for all of the sets, you would need to get both of those die sets. All right, now this is the Squoval tags, and it's Squoval because there are two curved corners and then two pointed corners, making a Squoval. And then there are these two different reinforcers that come in this die set. This is a Simon Says Stamp exclusive die set. And then I also am using the Simon Says Stamp 4-bar cards. They are 3.5 by 4 7/8, and I'm going to be using 6 of them. I also cut 6 backgrounds. These are 3.25 by 4 5/8, and I'm going to be using that for my 3 shaker cards and then also for some others because I'm going to be cutting them out with the squovels. So that's why I needed 6 backgrounds. Now I'm going to cover 3 of the backgrounds with these papers, the teal, and then this one from the orange. You can see that they're all kind of these tickets or tags or backgrounds that are all kind of made up of the same type of thing, but all in the different colors. So the pink, the teal, and the orange in those backgrounds. And that's basically what I need. So I'm inviting you to come along and let's get making. So we're going to start off with those palette backgrounds from the palette papers. I cut those also 3.25 by 4 5/8, and they're going to fit perfectly on the back of 3 of those white heavy stock backgrounds that I cut earlier. I am doing this because I'm going to be cutting the squovels out of these to make shaker cards, and so I need them to have some stability. So that white heavy stock is going to give these palette papers just that little bit of stability they need, since they're going to kind of be an outside um, frame for 3 of the cards. Now for these squovels, I am picking the 4th one in. That's the size that we want. So we want a nice opening on our shaker, but we're also going to be able to use this squoval tag that we cut out. So that's going to be great. That's why I needed 6 cards. So I'm going to be cutting them out of the center of each of these 3 backgrounds that I've made. And here you can see I have my frame for the shaker cards, and then I have the tag. So this is what it'll look like on the background, and this is, or on the card, and this is what the tag will look like on the card. So now I've gone around the outside and inside of each of the frames and around the tags with walnut stain distress ink. And I want to add the little, I did the one with the straight, one straight side that goes at the top of the tag for the reinforcers. So I'm going to go ahead and add those. And I did them in white because the outside of the card, I'm going to have that little white mat, and so I thought this would go well with it. And then there's going to be white around all of the stamped and die cut images, so I thought that I should go ahead and do white for these as well. And then I did add a little bit of walnut stain to the edge of those so that we are ready to start putting these together. Now, before we do, I needed to cut 3 more backgrounds because I realized I needed an additional background for the inside of the shaker cards. And so I cut another piece for that, and then a piece that's going to go behind each of the tags. And I'm going to color these. I'm going to do the smoosh technique with bundled sage, rusty hinge, and Victorian velvet. And I held up dried dried marigold, but I ended up using Rusty Hinge. It matched a little bit better than the marigold. So I'm starting off with the bundled sage, and so as I'm just barely tapping the paper in so that I can get those little dots. I don't want to smush it on there because that just smushes color on, and I want to have those dots just so that there's a little bit of, interest. There's some dark colors here and there, and it's not all just, one smooshed color. So I'm pressing the ink onto my mat, getting a little bit of water on there. And you can see how on the right side I have the little dots that I'm talking about, and on the left side I pushed down too much and it's smushed. So now I just barely tapped it in there, and there we have those dots I was talking about. And that's what I really love. Every once in a while, I may want a little more color, and I'll smush it down into the ink to get a little more color onto a background. But I really love all those little dots of ink on there. It really adds interest. So I did the same for each of the colors. So this is what it looks like. I have stamped the dress forms, and I have stamped all of the scissors and cut all of those out. I've also stamped and cut out all of the sentiments. So you can see what each of those tag cards are going to look like. And then I've also sewn around each of the tags, and I've sewn around each of the shaker cards. And I'm of course going to need some clear acetate. I have this acetate from Simon Says Stamp. You can get it from whatever source that you want. Now I'm going to put that behind these shaker cards, and you can see I have several scissors cut out for each of the shakers. And now I'm going to start putting these together. So I have my Positively Craft glue. I have my 3D foam strips to make the shakers so that none of my shaker stuff falls out. And I also got the white foam tape. This is, I think it's 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch white foam tape. And then I also have some score tape because I need something to attach the acetate with. So I have all of these adhesives out ready for me to start putting these together. So I start with the score tape, and I go around the outside of each of the shakers. So I'm going to start with the rusty one, the rusty hinge one. And now I'm going to take off the nonstick part and press that acetate down into the double-sided score tape. And now I'm adding these little strips of the foam strips, and that's going to go along the whole outside of the frame. And I doubled up on some of these because these foam strips are super thin. They're about 1/8 of an inch wide. And that was great on the top or bottom, but the sides needed a little more something to hold them in place. So this is basically what it's going to look like when I put it together, but I also needed some other shaker items in there with the scissors. And so I reached for some of these shaker confetti sequin type things from This Calls for Confetti. I didn't see these on the Simon Says Stamp site. These were the satin bronze sequins, but I did add a few uh, in the links below. That would be some that you could possibly use if you don't have any in your stash. Now I'm taking the non-stick part off of the foam tape. You want to make sure that your frame is going the right direction so that the words aren't upside down on the card. And then I press that down. Now, this is the second one I did, and I actually ended up adding the foam strips, and then I added that foam tape over it. So I have 2 layers because when I did this orange one, after I got I realized that the shaker stuff didn't really shake. It just kind of stuck underneath the acetate. So here I'm adding some more teal sequin confetti mix, and this one had some little silver balls in it that were too big, and so I those kind of rolled off the card, and I put them back in the package for uh, another use. But here I have my sequins in there and the scissors, and I'm taking the backing off of the foam tape again, make sure it's going the right direction. I'm pressing that down, and let's see if this one, now that one works much better, right? So everything's kind of moving around. All right, now I decided I needed another little touch, and this is where the um, crochet trims came in. And so, like I said before at the beginning, I'm using this crochet trim, and it is going to go at the bottom of each shaker and at the bottom of each card to give the dress form something to kind of stand on. And just to kind of go with that sewing theme, I thought this went well. So I have a piece of distress white heavy stock, and I'm just stamping in the same colors of distress ink that I used for the background, and also that I used to color in the dress forms, and some things like that. So, we have kind of the same color scheme going on. So this is Rusty Hinge, and then I use uh, the velvet, crushed velvet, and then this is the bundled sage, or Victorian velvet. I'm sorry, not crushed velvet, Victorian velvet and bundled sage. And now I am going to use those die cuts to cut out each of these crochet trims, and they cut out just really quickly and beautifully. So this doesn't take long at all with these matching dies. So nice. And these are just going to go perfectly on these cards. So I wanted to pull this out and see how they looked before I cut all the rest of them, make sure that I liked it. So I just kind of set that on there. The dress form's going to stand on it. And then I'll have that sentiment up there and maybe add one of the scissors. So we'll see what I decide as we move along. So this will go at the bottom of the tag. And again, we'll be standing that dress form up on it, and I think that that was just the right touch that I wanted for these tags. So I attached everything just like you saw, and then now I'm going through and I pulled out a few sequins from each of the packages that I used for the shaker cards, and I added a few of those sequins onto each of the tags and onto each of the fronts of the shaker cards, just again to add a little interest, make it kind of give it just kind of a finished pulled together look for each of those. So there we have each of them attached, and we're pretty much finished with our cards. So here we go. All right, here is the Rusty Hinge one. And you can see all of the little details, how quick it was to cut out all of the parts. Those scissors, could you imagine cutting out all those scissors to make shaker cards without dies? It would just take forever. So it really went very quickly with me just sitting there watching a Disney live stream and cutting away. So, and then you saw how quickly even the little crochet trims cut out. So, and I love that the fishtail die for the tiny text. That's great too. And isn't the Squoval tag die super fun? So great for making a shaker card opening, and then you have the 2-for-1. You have the tag left over to make a card with. So I was really excited when I realized, hey, I'm going to get, 2 cards for the price of each one. So here are some close-ups of each of those shaker cards. And again, this one's so funny that the scissors just kind of clumped up and really didn't move. But all the rest of the shakers, they moved beautifully. And all the little sequins and other things shaking in the center as well. So that's it for today's card tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I have stills of all of these. These pictures are all on my blog at playswellwithpaper.blogspot.com. All of the products that I use for today's cards are linked below in the description for today's video, as well as on my blog. And that's going to do it for today. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that you like these cards as much as I enjoyed making them. And with that, I want to wish you a very creative day.